Alright, so this is our latest victim. What is it, Kelly? Tell us what it is.
A 1973 Honda CB125.
Alright, 73 CB125, because I can just repeat what she says and it's fine. And there is the vintage Vixen. She just got done pressure washing this. And she's gonna make this run and go once more. But we finally got all the barn crud off of it. So it's going to take a little work. There's some seat problems and we have headlight issues and there, but to work it could just use a bulb, she says. And then tires and tubes, and the engine's locked up. I mean, it doesn't do a whole lot right now.
It doesn't even roll very well.
So
all right, so here we are with the 1973 Honda CB125. And part of what I'm doing is kind of assessing the damage. This belonged to a gentleman. It was his when he was a kid, and he rode it up until he was 15, and a car ran him off the road and he kind of wrecked it a little bit. And after that he said, I didn't want to fix it because I was about old enough to drive anyway, so I just got a truck and fixed that instead. So it's been sitting, literally sitting in his dad's barn all this time. I think the last time it was registered, titled, was 1975. So I power washed it yesterday, and today I'm kind of looking at some of the other things that I'm definitely going to have to deal with. It's a little worse than I thought. The engine is locked up. I've been trying to get some oil into the cylinder, hopefully loosen that up. So one of the things I'm going to do today is to get the side covers off. And you have to be very careful with these older bikes because these side covers are plastic, they're brittle, they're old. So this one wasn't even in the grommet. So one of the things that you want to do is to lubricate this grommet. I put a little WD-40 on it. You could put whatever it was you wanted to put on it. I'm going to let that sit there a little bit, and then I'm going to very carefully use a heat gun. I don't want to melt this paint or this plastic. So really warm is about all you need. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reach back here and behind it and kind of try to push out on this tab. Now this is what this tab looks like. It locks up in there, so it's up kind of behind this little guy right here. But I don't want to just pull on it. That's how you crack those. And if you crack it, it's a bad day. So Lord. This is bad. This is worse than I had hoped it was gonna be. I was hoping since it was sheltered it wouldn't be quite so gross, but that's not how that's working out. So I think I have a date with a ball peen hammer and a hand impact. Any kind of rubber I'm gonna heat because I don't wanna. That garter spring's gonna be hot though. I also took the tank off and moved it around and heard lots of rust moving around in there. I don't know if it's rusted through. I also cannot get the fuel cap off, so I sprayed some lube on that last night, and I'm letting that sit there and think about its actions.
see a lack of nuts. I'm a little disappointed that we don't have any more nuts than that in there.
Oh, they're in this.
Oh, they're in that.
This still has a filter in it.
Oh, the filter is actually still there. That's
shocking.
Impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Okay, because I know the slide is stuck, now that I know I can get this off, and that was what I was hoping to get done first, now I'll put a little stuff in there and see if I can get the slide to slide up, because I can't take this off until the slide comes up, because the whole slide is attached and it'll all come up together. So that's my next gig there, is to do that. I think I'm gonna have to buy stock and WD-40 and
Slippity
stuff.
slide, slippity slide. You want your slide to slippity slide.
You do. I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit, and I'm gonna go over to the other side and see if I can reach the end of the crankshaft and maybe start working on this. It does have oil in it though, which is...
Oh, still has oil.
I mean...
That's good.
It's better than not having oil in it.
Well,
I mean, the oil may have condensation in it, but at least it has some oil. Maybe it helped keep some crud out.
yeah.
So,
Check that clear battery out. That's super cool.
that's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty neat.
So why use your hand and not just pop the impact on it right away?
Well, because I'm trying to knock some of this mess loose and kind of set the bit and make sure I can get it in there.
There you
Okay.
go. And our hope is that the little thump will help knock some of that loose whenever you go to use it.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
As I suspected. Now, the trick here is to not hit your hand. And don't be shy. If you're to the impact point, you gotta hit it. Don't be tapping on it. It's almost like I've done that before.
Yeah, this isn't the first bike she's done anything with. So she's got
The things I've learned.
86 Shadow out there that pulled out of the weeds in somebody's house, and
it lives. It lives. It made it all that whole 500-mile trip.
yeah, we just put 500 miles on that bike. We put it out here and made sure it didn't leak. And once we got all the leaks fixed from the coolant system, man, that thing ran like a top. It was impressive.
First thing, I was shocked. It just cranked right up.
Yeah, it cranked for the first time in years, like it had just cranked 10 seconds earlier. So these Honda engines are hard to kill. So they always make a good restoration project.
They're my favorites. I'm obviously more familiar with them than other things, but
start rust around the edges here. There's a lot of that, but that's not going to be detrimental to the tank. But there's some on the other side. It looks like just a lot of surface stuff here, so maybe nothing too bad. The only ones that really get worried is when you get over here to the edges and it gets thick, and
that rust through the seam.
yeah, that seam is what you get worried about. So anytime you see the seam and it gets up here and it gets real thick on rust on the outside, that's when we start getting worried. But when we finally get this thing opened, we'll see a little bit more of what's there.
Alright, so I went ahead and took the carburetor off just by taking these couple of nuts off and then very carefully wiggling that out. While it was at it, I went ahead and took off the clutch cable because it's kind of in my way. It just kind of attaches down in here, and the cable obviously goes up to the handlebar. And in order to get the carb off, I just took the whole thing off with the cable, and it threads up through here. There's a little opening here in the handlebar, and it comes out right here, and it locks into this, and this is how the grip goes. When this all goes back together, this part will actually slide up into this housing. But for now, I'm just going to let it sit there and hang out. I'm going to go ahead and check on my carb because it's in the parts washer, and we'll see how it goes. Now that I've reduced this entire motorcycle down to the frame and a few boxes, right here, I've got 2 big crates, and the frame is right here, and the engine is over here. I've started making a pile of things that are too far gone to even think about putting back on. There is no hope for these. The rust is just too severe. It's not gonna work out. So now what I need to do is really seriously start making my parts list. I need to find out exactly what parts I need to source, what things I think I can save, what things I think I can clean up, and start going ahead to order those parts. Now, something I did discover was that part of the clutch basket had broken off and aluminum was distributed throughout the engine, which made me very sad. First things first, I know I'm gonna need some engine parts. I'm gonna go ahead and tear that the rest of the way down. While I have some downtime in between other things, I'm gonna go ahead and go through my boxes and see what I am going to need to break down further. Like you can see the forks there, they're gonna need to be broken down further. I know that I can get a kit to rebuild all of that. It has the springs and the boots and the whole 9 yards. So some of that stuff will be further broken down. Some things need to be really cleaned some more. Like as you can see, this frame is disgusting. It's got rust and mud all over the floor here. Some things I will have to look and see if I can get replacement parts, like the plastic that goes over the tail light. The headlight bulb is also busted, which unfortunately is really expensive. It kind of made me a little sad because it is a sealed unit. It's not just a bulb inside of a housing. So I'm going to go ahead and take inventory and start cleaning up these parts. Henry's going to put up some videos so you can watch more Vintage Vixen. I'm out of here. I got to go find another random part.